always got the worst motherfucking attitudes. Motherfucker, you need to be trying to control that weight instead of trying to control other motherfuckers. Hey y'all, for y'all that watch the replay, please forgive all that. Let's just start over and act like you ain't even hear all that. Hey y'all, welcome. Let me get my mic out the way. To today's episode of Get Paid with Creative Nomads. Hey, we got a good one for y'all. Whew. Lord have mercy. I'm a little late. I'm a little late. I had to deal with, I just had to deal with something. So we're a little late coming on. Just a couple of minutes. How y'all doing? What's today? Wednesday? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We have a good one today. And I need to just breathe and exhale, baby, because, ain't nothing worse than a fucking complainer. Y'all, there's nothing worse than a complainer because that energy, and see, they like to be around other complainers. So let's just get that off of us. We have a great episode. I'm going to go pretty in depth with this episode, speaking about investing. I didn't even bother to look through my notes of previous episodes. I do believe, forgive me if it's a glare, but I do believe we have discussed investing. And also, let me wipe this because this shit is killing me. I always forget to bring my cloth. Better, better, better. I always forget to bring my cloth when I come down. But we are going to go pretty in depth in this investing segment. And it will be a nice little segue from yesterday, just because, that's kind of what every episode really ends with, me reinforcing the importance of us building our economy and building, getting into the ownership mindset, shifting away from that employee whitewashed what we were taught, which was completely fucking backwards, because they had to kind of get us out of what we had already known: bartering, having our own shit, building our own shit, right? So with investing, it's the same thing. It takes a mindset shift, huge amounts of discipline. As we know, every aspect of getting paid takes a lot of discipline. So with the first thing with investing, putting your money to work. Essentially, that is what investing is: putting your money to work. So, however you get your coin, whether you do have to go to work and trade time for that money, then you guys hear me speak about 10% of all you earn is yours to keep. So, that money should be put aside for the purpose of investing, for the purpose of making that money now work for you, because you had to work to get it. You had to trade some of your time for that little bit of coin. So now the goal should be to increase that money multiple times over again and then use that money to reinvest, right? So you just keeps going on. But again, the purpose of it should be to put our money to work. That is investing, not saving it just to save. And also, when it comes to investing, you're getting more on your money. You're getting more interest on your money than like just sitting it in the bank. Saving money just to save money is useless. There's no point, especially considering like the U.S. dollar, the paper dollar, is not on the gold standard, so it is essentially nothing. It's whatever the U.S. government has deemed it to be valued at, but it has no value. Like just paper, right? The paper as a commodity is has a bigger value than the 20 or the 50 or the 100 that's printed on it, and the ink that's printed on it, right? So when you invest your money into something that then is going to be working for you, so when you're asleep, you're on vacation, this money is working for you. And it's some kind of investment, right? You're getting a bigger return on your money than just having it sit in a savings account. It's really not doing anything in there. And then while it's in there, you're giving these banks, which typically are not black owned, there is the one United that is a black owned bank, but you're giving these banks your money to use, invest, make deals and wheels and do all kind of shit with, and they're only giving you 0.00 something percent on the dollar. Like, that's insane. That is insane. And then it's not even like they're giving you that after, so much time. It's just completely insane, and it makes absolutely no sense. So investing, putting your money to work for you, and making smart money moves. Excuse me, y'all. Making smart money moves, right? So that is shifting from a consumer mindset to an investor mindset. It's a totally different mindset. As the consumer, we think about spending because that is the consumer way, right? Consumers buy, they spend, they purchase. So we have to get out of, and those aren't, that's not a smart way to utilize money or to think about money, to constantly think about spending, spending, spending. Oh, let me buy, buy, buy. Because these are all liabilities. We're spending our money on liabilities. Unless you're spending your money, and even then it's an investment, right? So, like this here, this just came in today. These are a couple of more trays, an investment, two different sizes. So, this is an investment. It's not, these two, which was less than $25, is going to bring me back 10x what I spent on it. That is an investment. Um, that is a asset, right? Not a liability. Just buying clothes, shoes, you know, home decor, things like that. When you're already living hand to mouth, you're already living check to check, you already don't have a financial plan, you're just winging it. You already have more month than money left. It's not a smart idea to buy a bunch of liabilities when you're barely making it. This is the time to shift from a consumer mindset to an investor mindset. It's kind of like going from just being a regular shopper to an extreme couponer. Although I'm not active, I still have that extreme couponer mindset. So when I go grocery shopping, I'm not just buying anything. Although I'm not an extreme couponer actively, that's always going to be a part of who I am and the way I shop and the way I look at, the way I price the items that I buy, right? Just because something's on sale, it doesn't mean it's a good purchase. You have to look at the quantity of that thing versus the price. And then you look at something that's not on sale, the same exact item, right? That's not on sale. And this is with, let's say you have a coupon. Now, which one would give you the better value based on the quantity and the price? Okay? So it's just really becomes a regular part of our day-to-day life when we're in that investor mindset. We become a lot more careful and cautious and protective of how we spend our money, where we spend our money, and what we spend our money on. And when it comes to really digging deep into investments, you won't even want to spend your money on anything unless there's a way that you can make money from that or save money from that. You know what I mean? So once you have that shift from consumer mindset to investor mindset, and then you're following a financial plan, like I said on the last episode, opportunities will begin to present themselves because now you're proving that you're disciplined. You're proving that you mean it. You really do want to achieve your goals, and you're starting by following a financial plan, being disciplined and sacrificing the wants for the immediate needs and for your future, right? So now you're shifting from just trying to, look good and keep up with the Joneses and like fuck the Joneses, and I'm gonna look good with what I have because I'm investing my money in this. You know what I mean? Um, in 5 years, and however, whatever the time frame is, you want to get to the point to where you don't have to trade your time for money, right? You don't have to. You've now taken these investments and put them into other areas where this money now is doing what it's supposed to do for you. Because when you put this thing to work, it can go out and accumulate more than what you can accumulate by trading your time for it. You can't. Two jobs will never get you to break even. Three jobs will never get your head above water ever. It just won't ever. You'll just be more and more dead. You'll have less and less time of your own, but it'll never get you to a break even point. Ownership, ownership is the only thing that gives financial freedom. The only thing, period. There's no shortcuts around it. And, trying to live off just the bare minimum, that's really impossible because, what is it called? Inflation. So you can't, whatever today's dollar amount is and whatever, you won't be able to live off that next year, 2 years from now. It has to be, and if we're just thinking about ourselves, if I just want to make enough money for me to live off the bare necessity, the bare minimum, the universe won't even allow that to happen because each one teach one, reach one. You cannot successfully make your dreams come true until you help someone else make theirs come true. That is how we're all fucking linked. We're all linked together. And it's just unrealistic to think you're going to be able to live off of the bare necessities and the bare minimum because each year shit goes up. Each and every year. So what's feasible now will not be feasible next year. And it definitely won't work in 2020. You know what I mean? So it's got to be a constant mindset of advancing, upgrading, leveling up, investing in smarter things, investing in better things, more long-term investments, you know what I mean? You can do short-term flips on things just to get your money up, get your money flowing, but investing needs to be another top priority, and it needs to be a real conversation that we're having amongst our family and within our households. Investing. Now, where do I want to go with this? So, staying on the whole mindset shift, right? Because a lot of you guys have experienced my mindset shift when it comes to feeling like I needed, um, someone to kind of help guide me along the way, and just not tapping into my full potential of energy, right? And of manifesting and the whole I canness and I am enoughness. So shifting from the consumer mindset to an investor mindset, it's not like it's something that's going to happen overnight. But you take little steps because, again, at the end of the day, you're doing this for your future, for your family's future, for your children's future. You know what I mean? You're doing this so that your kids won't ever have to work for anyone else. So that your kids won't ever have to fill out a job application for anyone outside of the family business, outside of whatever you've created and built that you're able to pass on to them, or whatever you've created and built if they're young, and put in their name and have nurtured to the point to where when they become an adult, they can now take over and start running their own shit. You know what I mean? So that can be a huge um, boost in going from that consumer mindset to the investor mindset, knowing that you're doing it for the benefit of your grandkids, your children, future generations, not just you. It's not just about you. So it becomes easier to not buy these useless liabilities, right? And to be more cautious and more protective of how we use our money and how we spend and allocate our dollars, right? So just thinking about the future, the benefit of your family, um, just creating something that will outlive you and your children, preferably, hopefully. Creating something that will outlive your grandchildren. You know what I mean? So that they can continue. And see, then when we teach them, when we teach our children as young ages about investing, about reinvesting their profits, about establishing ownership, and just that whole mindset to where they grow up with that investor, that ownership mindset. They never have that mindset of the consumer. They see you being disciplined. They see you being very cautious and very thoughtful about where and how and why you spend your money. They don't see you just buying shit, buying shit. And then when it's something that they need, right? Something that they need for school or for whatever it is, like a necessity, you don't have the money for it. So you have to tell them you ain't got it. They haven't experienced that, right? Because you've been smart about your money and you've made your money work for you. You put money aside for them that is working for them, right? Because you're about investing and not just sitting on money that it's not going to do anything, or getting a 0.002% interest rating on it. Like, that's nothing, That's nothing when there are avenues out here where you can get 8, 12, 13, 15% returns on your money, on your investments. So we just have to really take the leap from consumer to investor, from um, patron to owner, from customer, consumer, patron, employee to employer, owner, general, boss, chief, level up. It's about leveling up. And when it comes to investment, another thing you have to consider is the cost versus the value, right? I know a lot of us uh, may, it's not something we grew up hearing about. We didn't grow up talking about investing sitting around a dinner table. We didn't, as kids, our uncles or dads or aunties wasn't talking to us about investment and financial literacy. It was all fun and games. You know what I mean? So when it comes to investing, a lot of people look at the cost of something. Oh, that's too high. Oh, this, that, and the third. The cost should mean nothing if the value is greater than the initial cost, the initial investment. If you invest, let's say, and I'm just giving an example, just throwing some numbers out here. If you invest, let's say, $1,500 into a studio, right? And in your mind, your purpose of making this investment is because you want to get in there and start recording or do your artwork or host dance classes, yoga classes, whatever it may be, art classes. But the cost of it, right? You don't equate the cost and the value with the value being directly attached to your efforts and what you could potentially profit from this initial $1,500 investment. So you're thinking about, oh, $1,500, and so then you start thinking, well, I could get this for less than that. Okay, what is it going to give you? Is it going to be a better value than this one? It's going to be the space. Let's say this one has the space, the lighting, the mirror, everything you need. So you don't have to come out of your pocket anything additional. It's in a great location. You have parking, whatever it may be. The value is worth the cost, right? So then you try and skim and short and you say, no, I can get this cheaper here. And then it's like a fucking little shack. It's dark. You don't have shit. You still need shit. So now you're coming out of more money. And now, your growth is going to be affected because for what you're trying to do, okay, people don't want to come there. The parking sucks. It's a little bitty shack. Let's say it's a dance studio. You don't have a mirror, so people can't see what they look like. It's just cost versus value is something, even when it comes to grocery shopping. As an extreme couponer, this is like how I started talking about. This is exactly what we look at as an extreme couponer: cost versus value. So I'm looking at how big something is, the ounces, the weight versus the price, and if it's worth it, if the value is worth more than what I'm paying for it, and it's a win. It's a go. That is a good and proper investment. That is a good and proper investment. So, it's going to be work. It's going to be research, which is something that, a lot of people don't like to do. That's just why you have so many people that don't even bother to start a business and are just more comfortable working for somebody. And it's like the all the guesswork is taken out of it. Someone else put together your schedule. Someone else put together your what is it called, your job duties. Someone else put together the employee handbook, right? So is just all you have to do is just show up, right? Just show up and do what they tell you to do, pretty much. Whereas running a business, you're the one. I hope y'all can still hear me. You're the one that has to put it all together. Do I just stop it or do I just keep going? Co-living in a rude ass LA. All right, y'all. So the the next, hopefully y'all can hear me. I can't. They're not. I won't be able to I won't be able to get past this. So I will see you guys on the next episode, and hopefully we'll be able to finish the whole episode. Peace, y'all.